Hello guys, welcome to my channel Lucid Fanfic, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. So be sure to stick around until the end, and let's get started. Me POV. I was sitting on my chair with my feet above a control panel with monitors in front of me showing the different scenes. One was a green-haired boy wearing a futuristic suit while walking in a forest with a girl with blonde hair. Another showed him in a classroom wearing a high school outfit while talking to four girls. The last one showed him in a dark room looking at nothing but a panel screen with girls on them with him showing a proud face for them. Me. It was so hard dealing with three different worlds but also balancing it with school life. I better go before I do something stupid with these worlds. Puts feet off the control panel. As I put my hand on the panel pulling myself up, I didn't realize I hit a button saying random world on it. I walked away out of the room without noticing the screen having coatings on them creating a world. It then showed a bar showing 0% before it starts loading on it. Some time passed, and then the loading screen then showed 100%. In POV. The screen then got rid of the loading bar before it then showed the world itself. It then showed a boy in a destroyed suit on a building. He was staring off at the city looking around the place. Unknown character. It's been 4 months ever since the war ended and peace returned to this world. Looks up into the sky. Then a flashback start to happen. Flashback. Izuku came back to UA. While he was on a building looking at UA before turning and was about to jump off to resume his patrol until an explosion occurred at what is the dorms of his class, Class 1A. His eyes widened and dashed into UA, hoping what he thought was happening was not real. He landed in the entrance of UA and used one for all 50% and sped to the dorms. He was panicking and was rushing as much as he can. He arrived, but was met with a depressing sight. What he saw was his classmates against the walls with blood coming out of their mouth. Their body burnt from what could have been an explosion in the middle of the room where they were discussing about something. He even sees some of the skin even burn away with their muscles being shown beneath it. Izuku stared at the sight with nothing but sadness in his eyes as he was wondering what led to this moment. All he can do is blame himself as he is the reason why they died. He was the reason they were trying to get him to return, but he didn't listen. He was the reason they were targeted by villains cause of his close relation. He was the reason they are dead. His tears then started to show as he was crying a river of the death of his classmates, friends, comrades, closest people he held, and the people he calls family. He was blaming himself for their deaths as he slowly broke down before standing up again, wiping away his tears with a sad expression on his eyes, forcing his tears to stop. He was looking at the sight one more time before turning away with his hair covering his eyes. He walked out of the school grounds before moving his face up. His glowing eyes in the dark as he put on his hood before staring at the screen with the intent to kill. He was mad. No, he was furious. He now see that the villains can no longer get redemption for what they done. He knew that if he wants to keep everyone safe, he has to double his efforts and go after all for one. He stared up into the sky with his eyes glowing more brightly with streaks of light coming out of it before sparks start to appear with it becoming violent around him as he then vanished in speed as he dashed away. Flashback end. Izuku. I'm sorry everyone. Tears up, at least everyone is now okay in heaven as I finally defeated the threat of this world. Izuku stared into the sky as his tears start to flow more down his face. He was still blaming himself for that day they died, but now that all for one is gone they can now pass on without worrying a lot about this world. Izuku, he still continued Vigilante because he feels like even though the main threat is gone there's still more that could pop out around the corner. He barely slept at all throughout these months. Izuku wiped away his tears, putting his mask on before jumping away with one for all at 30% with him, flying across the city with float, and using Black Whip to move around more. He was swinging as he felt a small pain in his chest before he shrugged it off from his battles. He landed on a building before looking around in patrol. He saw a villain in an alleyway having a knife with his quirk activated approaching a civilian. He then dashed towards him and used Black Whip to slam him against the wall before punching him again, knocking the villain out. He was about to ask the civilian, but danger sense activated before they dashed at him with their quirk activated before more people appeared around him with their quirks activated. He dodged and kneed the villain, knocking him away before he looked around and see he is surrounded by more than 20 villains. Unknown character. Now what are you going to do, Deku? Izuku looked at them all before he closed his eyes. Unknown character. Hey, giving up, you're not so hyper as you were before, aren't you? Izuku opened his eyes, showing his eyes being red, sending a pressure around him as all the villains stood still from the attack. The villains stood still before they started to fall one by one as they were even knocked out. Izuku. God, that took a toll on my stamina. Again drops down on one knee. Izuku was on one knee before he bounced off the walls Gran Torino style before landing on the roof. He was there holding his chest as he was feeling more pain. Izuku, oh, what's wrong with me? Clutching onto his chest. Izuku was feeling a lot of pain from his chest as the camera then went into his chest, seeing his heart. It was beating at a slow rate before going fast and then slow again. It was dying. Izuku overworked himself to the point where his life is now on a thread. Even if he is a superhuman, it doesn't take away the fact he's still human, with the quirk only being an extension of him. Izuku slowly fell to the ground as we see his heart starting to slow down even more to the point it's no longer beating. Izuku. How I overworked myself that my body is picking up the toll of it. I forget that my quirk is only an extension of myself that doesn't boost my body to not be destroyed from things humans would have died from other than fighting. Izuku felt his eyes being heavy and he feels his body feeling numb as he can no longer feel the pain from earlier. Izuku. Guess this is how I die. At least I can meet my friends again. He closed his eyes as he was approaching death's door. He accepted his fate. It then changed scene where he is now in a dark area where he see a light in a distance. He slowly walks his way as he was closing in on the light. He then walked into it as he was then engulfed into the light where he was then no longer seen. Izuku was then met with darkness again before he realized his eyes were closed. He opened them slowly as he then see the world around him. He see buildings that looked like his when he was back in Japan. He looked more and he hears vehicles and many chattering across the city. He was confused on what was happening before he decided to wrap himself in black whip and went into a dark area where he can hear in on the civilians. Unknown character. You guys hear about how weird society can be when now all of a sudden kids learn way more than we did before. Unknown character. That's because they were introduced into the web that they now see so many weird. Unknown character. You also gonna watch Hololive when you're back home? Unknown character. Obviously cause I like them a lot. Unknown character. Welp, I gotta eat before I can even watch them. Izuku was confused on what they were saying before he then heard them saying more. Unknown character. You know, 5 months ago the pandemic is gone, and we are now no longer needed to wear masks. Unknown character. Dude, that was the best moment for me cause wearing masks around was so annoying as it makes it harder for me to breathe. Unknown character. Not to mention the straps sometimes hurt my ears cause of how tight it is to your face with the straps pulling on your ears. Izuku was even more confused. Pandemic. Wearing's mask, this ending 5 months ago? He was sure the earth was in disarray as the fight of all for one was concluded. There was only one thing he could think of that could explain everything. It was a speculation, but he needs more evidence, and luckily the people talking gave it. Unknown character. Dude, do you even think the people in Hololive are actually real? Unknown character. You really think they exist? They are just virtual avatars, man. Even if they are real, we would be at least seeing some power clashing around their room or outside. As far as we know, powers don't exist at all. That confirmed the last evidence Izuku needed. He was in another world, one where quirks never existed, one where humanity moved forward possible more than they were when they had quirks. This world doesn't have powers, but it is not free from corruption. Izuku decided to help society, but rather from the shadows, as he knew if the government see a boy with some weird powers going around, it would cause a talk in public about the boy. He decided to first make an identity card for himself as he knew he doesn't have one here. He will even schedule his patrols to not overwork himself as now society is not very messed up as it is. He thinks that maybe this could be making him have a life where he must enjoy it to the fullest. After all, one must live their life to the fullest, or they would be chained up to a fate they never deserved. That is what Izuku will do as he now lives in a world where people were like him when he was quirkless. The only thing is everyone is quirkless. Or are they? It's been a few weeks ever since Izuku was isekai'd to another world similar to his, the only difference being quirks never existed. We now go into an apartment where we see Izuku leaning against the railing at the balcony. Izuku, it's been a while since I was in this different Japan. I was looking through the histories of Japan and apparently it was different by ours. I know that quirks never existed, but to think humankind can progress this far without quirks is surprising. Well, no use to dawdle on what's different or not. It's time for my work. Izuku opened his sliding door and went to his living room, where he then left his apartment to go to a convenience store where that will be where he work. He entered it and then went to the back of the store where he met the boss. Boss, so this is your first day at work, young blood? Izuku, hi, this is my first time working, sir. Boss, no need for formalities since you will be working here with all of us. Izuku, a-okay, boss. Boss, sigh, okay, let's get you ready for work, shall we? Izuku, hi. We now then are at the cash register where we see Izuku working along with his co-workers, where they are either helping customers find items they are looking for or are giving changes to the sold items. During the evening, nothing much happened when one particular person entered. Unknown character. The stream got me so tired as I barely slept much last night, rubs eyes a bit. She entered the convenience store and went to grab some items while Izuku was at another aisle looking through the items before restocking some of them. He then went to the same aisle and the girl is at where he was about to restock an item, but when he brought his hand to the place he felt a hand on top of his. Izuku, sorry, moves hand away, I didn't notice you. Unknown character. No, it's okay, I also didn't notice you're restocking the items. I wonder how come he didn't fully recognize me? Maybe he's just putting up an act. Izuku, anyways, I'm gonna continue going to the other aisle to continue restocking them. Walks away. Unknown character. I didn't see any act behind that face, as many people fail to act when meeting their idols. Maybe he doesn't know about us. While she was wondering to herself, we go to Izuku, who was in the other aisle. Izuku. Steam's coming out of ears, JG's no matter what, talking to G girls is hard for me. Yep, even if Izuku faced war and fought the most strongest of villains, he still is shy when confronted with girls he doesn't know. But that's not all. Izuku. Breathing in slowly, deep breathes. Izuku, deep breathes. The weird part for me is even though she is maybe a cosplayer, as I heard about Hololive but never watched it. The weird thing is I feel like she's hiding something. I can be paranoid and that there is someone with a quirk here, but the question is it even possible for people to have powers here? I know the fact that it's a world where everyone doesn't have power, but it doesn't get rid of the possibility that maybe one of them has it. Izuku was deep in thought about the possibilities of someone having a power, but decided to shrug it off, as he doesn't want it to be in the way of his work. After Izuku finished his work, he then exited the store as his shift ended. He looked around the dark area as it's night. He then walked away towards his apartment, but was taking a different route than he used this morning. Izuku. Someone is trailing me. Danger sense is going off right now, as this person would not be friendly. He walked by the park where we see the girl on the bench looking up at the sky. She was mesmerized by the stars before she looked around and saw Izuku. Unknown character. It's him. I guess he's off work. No. Notices someone. Wait, is that person trailing him? We now see a man in a dark hoodie who is hiding behind buildings as he peeked around the corner to see Izuku walking away before he also moved. Unknown character. I shouldn't do this, but I have a bad feeling about what would happen to that boy. She got off the bench and spread her wings and flew before she then landed on the roof looking down at the boys, where Izuku was then seen walking into a dark alleyway. She followed him as well, as she then was above the alleyway where she see Izuku facing a dead end before the hooded man came from behind him. Unknown character. He nowhere to run, boy. You just made it easier for myself, grins evilly. Izuku. Turns around, who might you be? Unknown character. Hey, you wouldn't know, as you're gonna be dead on the floor, brings out a knife. Izuku was not replying to the man as he had his hair covering his eyes. The man took it off as Izuku is scared and charged at him, where he then stabbed and blood was seen. The only thing is, as Izuku looked up, he went wide-eyed. From the scene in front of him, he see purple hair aligned with some pink in them, as the person's cap even flew from the stab, and her long-sleeved jacket even flailed from the stab, as the hooded man stabbed her in the gut. She even had blood coming out of her mouth, with her lemon yellow eyes going wide-eyed before she falls over unconscious. Thoughts? Unknown character. Lady, you know it's not a good idea to interrupt this, but may you have a good figure. Maybe I should have my way with you after I kill this boy. As Izuku heard that, well, let's say the man messed himself up. Izuku looked at the man as he gave a scary glare, as he was not happy at what the man did, and said, Izuku, care to repeat that? Giving off an aura. The man then stopped in his tracks as to what he saw was almost a 180 of what the boy was earlier. He only then regained his composure before looking at Izuku before saying, "No character. Funny coming from a boy with no weapons, but only his fists. Izuku, you asked for it vanishes." The man went wide-eyed as he couldn't even see where the boy went before he felt a touch to his head before feeling a smack of concrete on his face. He was dazed and was losing blood as well before he lost consciousness. Izuku, TCH, just when I thought this world won't have these type of people, but it's inevitable. Looks at the girl. Oh wait, I need to get her medical treatment right now. Izuku went and picked her up before he used one for all 10% and dashed off to his apartment, where he went through his window. He then went to his cabinets at the kitchen to grab a med kit before he opened it and start treating the girl. A few hours later, the girl was on the bed with her stomach patched up before she twitched and slowly opened her eyes. She saw a ceiling she doesn't recognize above her. She was about to sit up quick before feeling the pain of her stomach before she looked at it to see it bandaged. No character. When did I? Remembers the scene earlier. Oh right, I stepped in to take the stab. Why did I do that? I barely know him, but I went in and did that. Sigh. Izuku, you okay now? The girl then brought her head to the sound as she see Izuku on the table drinking tea while looking at her. No character. Yeah, I'm okay right now. Thanks for saving me. Blushes slightly. Looking at him now, he is kinda cute. Wait, why did I think of that? Izuku. No problem, I always wanted to help people as much as I can. Smiles. No character. Blushes more and looks away. Anyways, what happened to the man who stabbed me? Izuku. Oh, he is currently being taken to jail for doing an attempted murder. No character. Did you patch me up? Izuku. I did. I just learned about it when I was young. Slightly sad tone, and also for when I had depression and started cutting myself. No character. I see. Well, I should be going now as I probably am intruding. Izuku. Oh no waves hand. You can stay. You're not intruding me on anything. Besides, judging from your wound, you probably need a few days of rest before you can move around with not much problems. No character. I see. Takes a look at Izuku. From her POV, she is seeing Izuku wearing a shirt with the kanji on its shirt, but also red shorts. He was looking away from her as he was sipping his tea silently in peace. No character. This boy doesn't really know who I am. The fact is also that he is not a pervert, that he didn't do anything to me other than treating my wound. If it is okay, can you introduce yourself? Izuku. Sure. My name is Izuku Midoriya, and I'm currently 16, and I live alone. You can introduce yourself if you want. No character. My name is Tawa Tokoyami, and I'm actually a devil. Wait, why did I say that? Izuku. Is that so? Sips his tea. Tawa. Is it me, or is this boy dumb or something? Why are you not surprised? Izuku. Well, because your tail is currently being shown, and I saw you flying above us in the alleyway. Tawa. Wait, you noticed me flying above the alleyway earlier? Izuku. It's not that hard to miss as you were giving yourself away too much. Tawa. Pouts. I thought I was hidden well. Izuku. It's okay, you did try to hide. Pats her head. Tawa. Hey, don't do that. Not that I hate it. This is enjoyable actually. Izuku. Alright, the other reason why I wasn't surprised by you being a devil is cause I already seen many things. Tawa. What did you see before? Izuku. Slowly looks down while a bit sad. That's something I don't want to touch on. Tawa. Oh wait, I messed that up. Well, do you even watch Hololive? Sweat drops. Izuku. No, I actually don't, though I did hear about it. Tawa. I see, so he doesn't even know me. I see. Well, I need to tell my friends about my situation right now. Izuku. Sure, you can tell them, and maybe tell them you need to rest for a few days to heal. Tawa. Sure. Izuku then stood up and walked out of the room, where Tawa then opened her phone and told her friends that she's injured right now and that she will need to rest a few days to heal. After she was done, Izuku came out and picked her up bridal style. Tawa. YH pervert, what are you doing? Izuku. Calm down, I'm just carrying you to my bed. Dense as hell. Tawa. YH, what are you going to do? Izuku. I'm just letting you sleep there because you're injured right now. Tawa. Oh. Izuku then brought her to his bedroom, where he laid her down and put her under the blanket before he walked away to the door. Tawa. Wait, where are you sleeping? Izuku. I'll just be sleeping on the couch, don't worry, it's fine. Closes the door. Tawa was shocked at the boy being this generous, even though he only knew her for a while. She looked back up at the ceiling before her eyes start to feel heavy as she slowly entered sleep. Izuku outside was making himself comfortable on the couch before lying down. He was wondering what just happened today. He then slowly went to sleep as his tired body was put to rest. We now continue off from last chapter where it was now morning at Izuku's apartment. The sun rays from his curtains was suddenly shown on his face where he opened his eyes to see Tawa there staring at the sliding glass door to the balcony. Izuku saw her looking outside as she was watching the rising sun from the horizon. Izuku, you woke up before me, huh? Tawa, deadpan tone because you were somehow a heavy sleeper that I tried to wake you up with sound, but it seems the sun is the best one to use. Izuku, probably cause I'm still mentally recovering from my vigilante patrols. Then how are you doing right now? Tawa, surprisingly better as it seems my wounds seem to be almost healed up. Izuku, is that so? Probably cause you are a demon that your regeneration is faster than humans. Tawa, yeah, and all I can say is it would have been longer if you didn't patch up my wounds. Smiles. Izuku, hee, it's the least I can do for you taking the stab for me last night. How did your friends take the news? Tawa, they were worried about me, but I told them that I'm already treated and someone is taking care of me. Izuku, I see. Izuku got off the couch as he went to Tawa and opened the sliding glass door where they stepped out and looked from the balcony at the city. By the way, Izuku's apartment is on a high floor, so they can pretty much see almost the entire city. Izuku, it's beautiful, isn't it? Tawa, being refreshed to the morning sun and even the view is what makes it beautiful. Izuku, chuckles, I guess so. The breeze was blowing past them as their hair wavered like the trees in the area. There was silence as they both were in their own thoughts for a bit before Tawa decided to speak up. Tawa, hey, I've been meaning to ask. Izuku turned his head to Tawa as she was still looked down a bit like he is deep in thought before looking away towards the sun as his green emerald eyes shone a bit. Izuku, it's a mix of reasons. I can't tell you all of them, but the main thing I can say is no matter what. If the person is a stranger to me, I want to help them in their problems as much as I can. Because I didn't fully live my life to the fullest when I was young, some things happened and it didn't cut out for me. It was like an endless void where I kept running until I reached my goal, but I felt nothing by that moment. The thing is, I just feel happy when knowing I can help people instead of making myself seem useless others. I didn't want to let them down no matter what. Tawa was shocked by what Izuku said as she turned her head toward him. From her point of view, she could see Izuku making a sad face. She knew something happened to him before, but it doesn't feel right for him to say it right now. She was wondering if the boy beside her experienced something he shouldn't have. They were kinda similar in a way. She felt happy helping others even though she is a devil and her family was supposed to be evil. She left her family because she couldn't stand the fact that she has to always be evil, thus making her a tenchi. She does indeed try to act evil, but only in a way to mess with her friends. Silence was then heard as they both were looking towards the sun thinking of what they both said before Tawa's phone started ringing. Tawa, checks her phone. Mind if I take this? My friends are calling me. Izuku, sure, go ahead, I can wait, besides it's a free day for me today. Tawa nodded as she went back inside the apartment, leaving Izuku to his peace as she went to the kitchen where she then picked up the call. Unknown character. Tawa. Tawa puts the phone away from her ear. Did you have to shout at me this early in the morning? There was noises on the phone before the voice shifted into another one. Unknown character. Sorry about that, Tawa. Luna just couldn't stop worrying about you over here. Tawa, I thought I already told you that I'm okay and patched up. Another voice was then heard. Unknown character. Well, we were worried cause what will happen if an idiot just came to patch you up just to have his way with you? Tawa, it's not like that. He is actually a kind person, but maybe also one that is dense, so don't worry, Coco. Coco, sigh, okay, I won't, but really if that guy does something to you, I'll be sure to send him to a blazing hell. Tawa, sweat drops. I don't think that will be necessary cause of my strength being higher than humans. Another voice then came in talking. Unknown character. Well, if you're okay, then when are you coming back? Tawa, maybe one more day since my wounds is nearly healed up. Kanata. Kanata, okay, hope you get well soon. Tawa, I will. Until then, see you girls. All of them, bye. Tawa ended the call as she then walked back outside to see Izuku still staring at the sun in peace before he looked behind him to see Tawa. Izuku, I'm guessing you finished talking to them? Tawa, yeah, I am. Well, do you have anything to eat? Izuku, Just come to the kitchen, I'll cook something up. Tawa. You can cook? Izuku. I do that since making my own food is better than buying store ones. Tawa. I wonder how good your food is. Izuku. I say it's moderate for me, so don't expect anything too big, yeah, as if broccoli. Izuku then walked inside as he went to the kitchen where he put on an apron, grabbed the utensils and the ingredients before he started to cook food. He was cooking each ingredient separately and is doing each of them with care and adding extra ingredients into the mix. He was moving around the kitchen a lot, but he hasn't broken a sweat, and before Tawa knew it, he finished the food and set them on the table. Tawa, rubbing eyes, did I just witness a high-class cook making these? Tawa went to sit down at the table where the food looks delicious up close. Izuku then came out of the kitchen with some bowls of rice and even made his favorite food, katsudon. He put it on the table before going to his seat before saying, Izuku, Itadakamasu starts eating. Tawa blinks her eyes a few times. Well, I guess it's time to eat. Itadakamasu takes a first bite. Tawa froze after tasting the many flavors that came in the food. It was overflowing in her mouth as she nearly made a noise due to how delicious it is before continuing to eat, with a tear coming down her eye. Izuku saw it and was worried if the food is bad, which Tawa noticed, and gave him a reassuring smile and a thumbs up showing it's delicious. This made Izuku happy before he continued to eat. After some time passed, and it was now noon where Izuku is still the apartment, but he's on his phone right now checking up the latest news. Izuku, how a serial killer on the loose during nighttime and the police can't track it down. Seems like a good time for patrol at night as these people are causing some trouble. Izuku put away his phone, revealing Tawa looking at him from above the couch to which she is floating. They both stared at each other for a few seconds before Tawa reacted, first falling on him from losing control on floating. There was a thud making them close their eyes shut. It took some time before Izuku opened his eyes, revealing Tawa, but this time her face has a deep blush on her. Izuku, what's wrong, Tawa? Tawa was silent before Izuku decided to look down and saw that he was actually hugging her tight without realizing it. His face froze, trying to react to the situation before his face suddenly built up in shades of red before he moved his hands away from her and moving away before saying, Izuku, I am sorry, 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 apologizing while bowing at Mach speed. Tawa was still blushing from the contact before she tried to make Izuku know that it wasn't his fault. Tawa, it's okay, I just fell on you first. Izuku, but I hugged you without your permission and I'm very sorry about it. While they both were having fun for the time being before it is nighttime, where Tawa then went to Izuku's room to take a nap and Izuku went to the couch. While he didn't sleep, as he slowly sneaked to his room and peeked in to see Tawa asleep before he closes the door and went to the living room. He opened a secret compartment where he kept a briefcase, to which he opened it up, revealing the stealth suit he had on the world mission. Izuku, I'm surprised I had this briefcase with me when I first came to this world. Seems like whoever sent it did me a small favor. Izuku wore the suit as he then opened the glass sliding door, to which he used one for all at 5% and jumped, activating float, and suddenly start flying. Izuku, ever since came to this world, notices some differences with himself and his quirk. First, one for all's drawbacks are no longer there along with the other quirk's drawbacks. For some reason, as well, he couldn't talk to the previous users, meaning they may have not been transferred as well. He's thinking that since the users were not there, that it would be make the drawbacks no longer available, meaning he can use one for all to its fullest extent. Another thing is some of the quirks evolved, making it more stronger than ever. This is the list of the quirks that evolved. Black Whip, Black Construct. The user uses a black substance to make many different items he can use in battle. It doesn't danger sense or a sense. The user not only does it still have the ability to sense incoming danger, it can even detect entities within the vicinity of the user, making them able to detect people either spying on them. It can also even detect how strong they are. Smokescreen, Dark Smoke. User releases a cloud of dark smoke that it can contain a substance of either sleeping gas, the same smoke from fire, or just a blinding smoke, with the user only being able to see through it. Float, Flight, self-explanatory. There is another quirk he has from the second user, but I'm leaving that to you to figure it out. It was already shown to be in use from one of the chapters. Hope you can find out about it. Izuku now was flying across the night sky, having his hood on and blending in the darkness. He was moving as he felt an aura from YSingc. He looked to his left and saw a man of young age walking down the sidewalk, but there is a middle-aged man walking behind from around the corner. Izuku landed on a nearby building, perching himself looking at the middle-aged man. He was carefully hiding himself whenever the young man looked behind him. The middle-aged man then pulled out a gun and came out of the corner and aimed it. Izuku dove straight down, rushing past towards the killer as he then did a kick to the killer's neck, knocking him to the left, but also knocking him out. The young man heard the attack and turned behind only to see nothing but a middle-aged man hanging upside down from a light with him being tied up from some ropes. Izuku fled the scene before getting noticed, and he then went flying again, landing at an abandoned building. He was sitting on it as he looked at the city. He was taking in the beautiful city lights before YSingc detected not 1, but 10 people with the aura of a killer below him. Izuku, seems like I hit the jackpot. Jumps down. He went the front door of the building before knocking it off its hinges, revealing 10 people who were drinking before noticing Izuku. Unknown character. Who are you? Izuku. Someone who came to collect your debt, eyes glowing emerald green. The screen faded into pitch black before hearing a lot of punches, crunches and thuds before the screen revealed itself again, with Izuku pulling his gloves down his hand. He pulled out his phone and called the police. Izuku. Hello police, I found a building that may hold some serial killers in there. Police, are you sure? Izuku. Yes, I peeked inside and saw some people I saw on the news, they seem to be knocked out. Police. Okay, send me the location, we will check it. Izuku. Thank you, and I'll move away to avoid getting caught. After Izuku finished the call, he decided to call it a day before jumping away and flew back to his apartment. He entered through the glass door and putting away his suit to then getting on the couch and putting himself to sleep. The next morning came by pretty quickly due to Izuku being outside for patrol, where he was then woken up by him getting punched to the head. Tawa. Oh, I wake up. Izuku. Ga falls off the couch. Did you really have to punch me out of my sleep? Tawa. Well, you were somehow not waking up no matter what I do, so I decided to use force. Izuku then massaged his head before taking a look at Tawa, seeing she is wearing her clothes, but her bandages are nowhere to be seen. Izuku. Guessing you're fully healed up? Tawa. Yep, and I can finally move around without getting myself hurt too much. Izuku. Well, that's good to know. I guess you want to go back to your home now? Tawa. Smiles. Not yet. Izuku. Huh? Confused. Tawa. Go take a shower, we are going outside today. Izuku. Blinks several times. Okay. Walks to take a shower. After Izuku took a shower and changed his clothes to this, he was then grabbed by Tawa, who dragged him outside the apartment, running across the sidewalks to the park. That was when they were confronted by 4 girls who heard a lot of footsteps and looked towards it to see them both. One of the girls then spoke. Coco. Tawa, is that the person you were talking about? Tawa. Yep, this is the person who was treating me. Unknown character. Then Bose, thank you for treating Tawa when she was injured. Izuku. No problem, besides it's my fault for her getting injured. Scratching his cheeks. Tawa. I keep telling you it's okay since I intervened to not let you get stabbed. Unknown character. How about we introduce ourselves to the boys since this is our first meeting? Coco. Right. My name is Coco Kiryu, and it's nice to meet you. Kanata. Hi, my name is Kanata, I hope we get along well. Luna. Hello, my name is Luna, and Luna hopes we can both have fun. Smiles. Watame. And my name is Watame, I hope Tawa didn't cause you much trouble when you were taking care of her. Izuku. Oh no, waves his hand, nothing much happened, remembers the incident yesterday and blushes. Tawa. Remembers as well, yeah, nothing happened, blushes. Coco was looking at both of them before smirking a bit. Forgot to mention that in this world no one from Hololive graduated or got terminated, so Coco, Aloe and Rushia are still in Hololive. Coco. Well, putting that aside, let's have fun, besides you were gone for 2 days that your fans were going crazy. Tawa. I'll have to inform them about this online. Izuku. Blinks several times. Wait, you have a community that are fans of you? Coco. Confused him. Tawa, did you? Tawa shook her head, to which Coco sighed. Coco. Let's put that aside, we are gonna hang out today. Izuku. Okay. So they got walking from the park to the arcade, as it was pretty empty that day for some reason. They were also talking along the way with what are their habits, likes or dislikes, and even discussing a bit of their past. Nonetheless, during the entire walk, Izuku was having fun talking to them. They then arrived at the arcade, though it doesn't get rid of the fact they were being watched by other people, but they shrugged it off as cosplayers. Kanata, so what should we play first? Coco, let's start on a fighting game, and I want to see how good Izuku is. Izuku, really I don't think I'm that good, rubs his head. Luna, what makes you say that? Izuku, remembers when he was young, I just didn't have much time to play when I was young since I mostly study. Watame, that tone of his could have fooled me, but I can tell that's not the real reason. I can't force him to tell us all, so I can hope it doesn't bother him too much. Coco, well alright then, I'll show you how to use the joysticks and buttons on the machine. Izuku, I guess I'll take you up on the offer. So Izuku was brought by Coco, who brought him to arcade machine, where she taught him how to play the game and what he can do. Izuku understood the explanation before they started to play. Let's say Izuku did poorly for the first round of the match. Coco, well that's okay, even if you're not the best at this, you're still good at it. Izuku, thanks Kiryusen, smiles. Coco moved her head away from the sun and the 100-watt smile, as she can feel her face burning up a bit. Tawa behind them was pouting a bit as she was jealous from Coco's reaction. They resumed their next round of the match, where something unexpected happened. Coco, he got you now, does her super move. As Coco was about to land her move, Izuku did a perfect block, stunning Coco's character for a bit before he did an infinite combo on her, resulting in her defeat. After that round, Coco, when the hell did you learn to do that? Ruffles his head while smiling. Izuku, you're not mad trying to get out of it. Coco, more like surprised, you just did an infinite combo on me that I couldn't escape. So they finish up the match with Coco winning since she had more experience in it, but Izuku was learning fast on playing. He gave Coco a hard time during the final round, as she had to play cautious about her moves to not let Izuku counter them. Izuku, phew, I couldn't beat you. Coco, don't be like that, I'm actually a pretty good player, but it's not like I'm the best. Kanata, well how about me and Izuku play? Watame, sure, just don't break the joysticks please. Izuku, wait what? Paled. Tawa, alright, Izuku, you see Kanata is known for her gorilla strength, so she has to make sure she doesn't destroy items when she has them. Izuku paled at the thought of all the girls being in pain from Kanata's hug, as he even shuddered at the thought of what if he got hugged without one for all activated. Kanata, don't worry, I won't break it, let's play. So both Izuku and Kanata got on the machine and started playing. During the match, Izuku was trying to go easy on Kanata since he learned a lot that he might overpower her too easily. During the match, Kanata got her super move charged up that once she's seen it, she used it while saying, Kanata, I know how to use gets K.O by Izuku. There was actually silence in the group before Coco started to snicker before it turned slowly into a laugh. Coco, why did you say that? Kanata, I don't know, I was too absorbed into it, I blurted it out. Coco, it's like first time having sleeping with someone, continues laughing. Izuku, what's that? Confused. The group paled when they heard Izuku say that, as they slowly turned their heads where they were sweating bullets while thinking, oh, is this boy that innocent? Watame, it's nothing Izuku, we just use it as a short term for setting the mood. Izuku, oh okay. The girls sighed in relief as they now know this boy isn't a pervert, but someone who is innocent but dense as a black hole. After that, they continued to have fun in the arcade before deciding to go shopping at a nearby store, as to which Izuku and the girls tried on many different clothes. They were having fun with each other as it was less awkward between them and Izuku. They were walking down the sidewalk, to which they arrived at Izuku's apartment. Izuku, you sure you girls don't want me to walk you home? Luna, it's fine Izuku. Luna and the others can take care of ourselves. Watame, I actually have to watch over you to not let you do something stupid, sweat drops. Luna, fake tears, I wish I was older to take care of myself. Izuku, it's okay, I mean you can still have fun though. Tawa, well how about we exchange contacts with you? Izuku, I'm sure, brings out his phone. They all exchange contacts with Izuku, and they then left Izuku, who was staring at them as they walk away while he was smiling. Izuku, you girls just make me feel like I'm with my family again, remembers his classmates. Let's not dwell on that now and be happy for what I have now. Izuku then entered his apartment. As he did, we then switch our scene to the girls after they left Izuku's apartment. Tawa, so how do you girls like Izuku? Luna thinks he's a nice person. Kanata, he's actually very kind, but he can also be shy when meeting new people. Coco, I say he's a badass person. What aim? I think he is boy who didn't see much about the outside world. All the girls turned their head towards Watame as they were confused on what she meant. Kanata, what do you mean? Watame, did you girls notice how he acts? It's like a shy kid who didn't view the full outside world. Coco, I mean the fact he didn't knew of some words though we were taught them, means he was probably self-taught. Watame, that's probably the case. Wait. Tawa, did you ask him if he attend any school right now? Tawa, no, he didn't mention anything about it. Does that mean something happened to him before that made him get homeschooled? Watame, that seems to be our best guess, but let's ask Corey or Zeta to look up his information. Luna doesn't think it's a good idea. Coco, same here, it feels wrong to look up something personal without his consent. Watame, you're right, sorry, I just feel like I want to know more about him. Tawa, don't we all do? Kanata, I guess so, after all he just makes me want to know more about him, so I can get on better terms with him. Blushing. Coco, he seems like a cool guy and his smile seems to be one of the sun somehow smiling while blushing. Watame, I suppose it's safe to say we all fell for him. Winks while blushing. Tawa, he who knew we all fall for him in just one meeting. Blushing while smiling. Luna thinks it's cause of how he acts kind to others. Blushes. Coco, well, let's get back to HQ, after all it's getting late now. Oh, yeah. Izuku wakes up from his bed. Izuku screamed himself awake. He was not having a great time as he had a nightmare. Izuku, panting, why can't I fully move on? This is what Izuku dreamt in his sleep. In his dream, we see Izuku standing in the middle of darkness as he was wondering where he is. He started to walk along the darkness to see if there was a way out. He was walking for what seems to be hours with no end. The darkness just stretches beyond Izuku's sight as it felt like being trapped in a massive box with no exit. Izuku started to panic a bit before starting to run. He was running like he had no time for anything, but in truth he's just scared of anything gonna pop up from behind him, or something is gonna make him get shook to the very core. It happened. The surroundings suddenly started to get painted with color. It was changing his surroundings before it then resembles itself to a place Izuku knows. Not the last place he wished he never see. Izuku felt something around him and looked down to see he is in his uniform for UA. Before he has time to do anything, he heard a voice. Unknown character. Midoriya, there you are. He recognized that voice very well. It's his class father, also known as the class president. He was calling out for him, but for what? Unknown character. Deku-kun, come on, it's time to get prepared for the show Eri was gonna enjoy. He knew what they meant. This was the day where the school festival was taking place, as he remembered it all well. For some reason, by instinct, he replied, Izuku. Coming, guys. Turns around. He wished he didn't. What he see in front of him is the destroyed bodies of his classmates. The explosion is not the only thing that hurt them a lot. He can see stab wounds, bones coming of their skin, their muscles being shown from under the skin, faces changed like they were pummeled too hard that it got reshaped, and lots of blood on the floor. He moved his hands up to see it covered in blood. His classmates' blood. It covered his entire hands, and he felt like puking. He then looked up from his hands to stare at the bodies only to see them gone. There was no trace of it left, just gone. Izuku felt creeped out even more before turning around, and he wished he hadn't. Right there he see his classmates' bodies standing up, but this time they are even more horrifying. Their faces covered in black blood and making expressions of them smiling creepy. A deep sight into the back of Izuku's head. He was more than scared, he was terrified and maybe mortified to a lot of levels. As if all things couldn't get more torturing for Izuku, this happened. Unknown character. Scary voice, why didn't you come back? Unknown character. Same, we were waiting for you. Unknown character. We could have fought together. Unknown character. But you went and fought alone. Unknown character. Did you know how worried we were? Unknown character. And all that worrying was for nothing. Unknown character. We're dead now. Unknown character. And it's your fault. You're just a Deku. Unknown character. Just a worthless Deku. Izuku was plucking his ears trying to get rid of the noise, but it keeps repeating his head. It's all around him, and he can hear it. It's around every corner. Worthless, worthless, worthless. Just a DKU, 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 worthless DKU, 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 worthless, worthless, worthless DKU, 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 worthless, worthless. Worthless, worthless, worthless. Just a DKU, worthless DKU, worthless, DKU, worthless, DKU. Worthless. Just a DKU, worthless DKU, worthless, DKU, worthless DKU. You're just a worthless DKU. Izuku, After the dream, Izuku started to slowly cry as he was in pain from seeing that dream. Ever since the day he lost his friends, he just keeps getting nightmares about it. The thing is, the only time it didn't happen is when he was taking care of Tawa. Even after the dream, Izuku can still feel the words still resounding in his head, like an echo. Izuku decided that he needs some space, and he changed his clothes and decided to go outside the apartment. He was walking down the road as he looked around the place. He then see a group of young kids playing together as they were having fun. The sight of that made Izuku remember his childhood from before Bakugo bullied him. He forgives him though, but the memory is still stinging in his heart. He then continued to walk as he was planning to get a drink for the morning. He went to a cafe to order coffee as he felt like he needed one. While waiting though, he hears the door opening and sees a group of teenagers from the same school due to their outfits. They were happily chatting away without a care in the world. Even then, he got visions of him and the others when they went outside to get drinks together. He felt guilt set in as he remembered the dream again before his coffee arrived. He grabbed it and walked outside. When he did, he noticed the temperature starting to drop. Well, not that it matters as Izuku is wearing an overcoat, but he was then met with another memory of Christmas where he celebrated it with the class and Eri. Eri was also on his mind as he hoped for her to be okay in his world. He was sure she can be in pain of him dying, but all he can do is hope that his daughter is fine. He then continued his walk as he then walked towards out of the city into a nearby forest. He then sat in a spot as he set his coffee next to him. He looked up into the sky to see clouds almost covering it fully. It was peaceful, but he doesn't feel it. He feels like hell after that dream. Unknown character. Hello? Izuku. Looks towards the voice. When Izuku turned, he was met with a woman with long green hair, golden eyes, antlers like a deer. She was wearing a dress that looks out of place, but Izuku didn't mind that. She even had a small flower on her head that made her look beautiful in the time. Izuku paused for a moment before replying to the woman in front of him. Izuku. Hello, am I intruding or something? Unknown character. Oh no, I was just wondering, why are you here? Izuku. Just felt like I needed to be with nature. Fake smiles. Unknown character. Is that so? Sits beside him. What is about nature that makes you want to come here? Izuku. Looks into the sky. It just feels like I can get away from everything, as nature feels like a calm place for me. This just makes me feel at peace and my stress being sapped away. Then animals came around the area as a few birds flew onto the antlers of the woman, while a fox came out of nowhere and placed itself on Izuku's lap. He was petting the fox as it made a sound of purring, indicating it's enjoying it. Unknown character. While look at him, the animals likes him so easily. It was hard for other animals to get close to my friends, but a normal human to get easily liked by animals is rare. You just look like you knew a lot about animals. Izuku. Well, I did do some studies on them, but their actions define the personality of the person they are with. If they like the person, they can cuddle up to them with no problems petting another animal's head. Unknown character. I see. Well, it is true that animals are only comfortable with very kind people. Izuku. Oh right, I never got your name. I'll introduce first. My name is Izuku Midoriya, and I'm kinda new to the city. Unknown character. My name is Series Fauna, and I am Mother Nature. Izuku. I see. By any chance are you friends with Tawa? Fauna. You knew about Tawa? Surprised. Izuku. Yep, and I can believe your Mother Nature, as Tawa showed me she is a devil along with some of her friends being different species. Fauna. I see you already met her whole generation. Izuku. Generation? Fauna. Do you perhaps not know of Hollow of My Little Sapling? Izuku. I only heard of it, but I don't know who is a part of it. If there are more people like her and Tawa's friends, then this world is not completely free from anything unnatural. Fauna. I see. Well, maybe if you look up the members, you may find something you can learn. Izuku. I'm sure. Pulls out his phone. Izuku started to search through Hololiv's page, and when he saw the members, he see how unique each of them can be, with most of them being a different species, such as a necromancer, a half-elf, a peculiar type of bird, etc. When he was scrolling down through the different generations, when he set his eyes on JP Jin 4 he saw it. Tawa, Coco, Kanata, Luna, and Watame. They all are Gen 4, which shocked Izuku, as the whole time, when he was spending time with them yesterday, he was actually spending time with the idols of Hololive. Then another thought came and he scrolled again before landing on Gen 2 to see Fauna a part of it. Izuku, 0 to 0. Wow, I didn't realize I was spending time with JP Gen 4 yesterday. Fauna, giggles, it seems you found out about it now. Izuku, yep, but even so puts the phone away, that doesn't make me see them different now. Fauna, Izuku, I only see a person as a person and that doesn't make them different. I don't want to treat them like they're gods, I want to treat them as friends, as that's who they are. People who are almost the same as us humans are. Smiles. Fauna could only just stare at Izuku, as the smile he made was as bright like the sun, making the plants around Fauna grow more. She stopped it from growing more, or else it could have overgrown, making the spot they are in harder to see. But even then she was mesmerized from the smile Izuku gave, as she all could do was blush slightly from it, before smiling as well. Fauna, glad to see someone still see us as normal people. Izuku, of course, even if you're possibly a god, Fauna, we have our own limits that we can't break. That's what's make us well us. Fauna, smiles, your words and speeches are nice. Cheek, I don't want to deal with that responsibility. Izuku then fully drank his coffee before standing up, and the fox knew beforehand, so it got out of his lap. Izuku, it's been fun talking to you, Fauna. I feel much more better from my stress. Fauna, I see, well, it's nice seeing you, little sapling. Izuku, why do you of all people call me a little sapling? Fauna, you will have to learn it yourself. Giggles, well, it's goodbye. Izuku, bye, waves, and walks away. When Izuku walked away, Fauna just looked somewhere else while having thoughts of the boy. His kind nature, self-understanding, understanding others, smart wits, and his smile. It all burned an image into Fauna's head as she can't stop thinking about him. Fauna, he's such an interesting boy. And it's been a while since I feel at peace with just a human, but remembers his fake smile. I feel like he needs some help. I just hope either me or Tawa can help him, or possibly yet the entire Hololive. As she was still in thought, she was then interrupted by one of her gen mates. Were she calling for her? Unknown character. Hey Fauna, come on, it's time to do a collab stream. Fauna, it's today? Coming Sana. Sana, you have to hurry, the stream is gonna start in 10 minutes. Fauna, oh no. Uses the vines to carry her quickly to Hololive. So, this was the end of part 1 of this series. Stay tuned for next part of this series, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.